Good morning, Sir Class. I'm Cadet Flores. This is a mission briefing that is unclassified. The purpose of this briefing is to brief each of the 6 legs of the primary route, along with an analysis of each leg from the platoon's patrol base to the ORP. The first leg of this route goes from the patrol base to checkpoint 1 at the mouth of the river. The azimuth is 66 degrees grid, 74 degrees magnetic, at a distance of 800 meters. The observations and field of fire is that the dense vegetation would only allow troops to see around 50 to 100 meters in front of them. The avenue of approach is none, key terrain none, obstacles none. The cover and concealment is that the dense vegetation would allow good cover and concealment that could stop an enemy 5.56 round equivalent. Enemy contact is not likely in this area, therefore the formation is a squad column fire team wedge with Alpha team in the front, followed by the squad leader brought up by Bravo team in the rear, following a traveling movement technique since enemy contact is not anticipated. The second leg of the route goes from checkpoint 1 to checkpoint 2 at a distance of 1,000 meters, grid azimuth of 92 degrees, magnetic of 100 degrees. Observations of field of fire is the same as before, so won't be repeated. The avenue of approach is a cart track at checkpoint 2, which is likely only able to carry a Humvee-sized enemy element. Key terrain is none since we're not at an intersection. The obstacles would be the road would need to be crossed as an LDA, since it is heavily trafficked and we don't want to ruin the element of surprise. Cover and concealment, same as before, so it won't be repeated. Enemy contact is possible, therefore we will use a squad column fire team wedge with Alpha in the front, followed by the squad leader, brought up by Bravo team, following a traveling overwatch movement technique, since enemy contact is possible. The third leg of this trip goes from checkpoint 2 to checkpoint 3 at a distance of 820 meters, grid azimuth of 99 degrees, magnetic of 107 degrees. Observation field of fire, same as before, so it won't be repeated. Avenue of approach, none. Key terrain, none. The houses on the southern side could be an obstacle and could be used by the enemy as an LPOP. The cover and concealment is same as before, so it won't be repeated. Enemy contact is possible in this area, therefore we will use a squad column fire team echelon right, because the houses will be on the right side of our formation when we're traveling towards the ORP, with Alpha team in the front, followed by the squad leader, brought up by Bravo team. Traveling overwatch will be used because this will allow us to react to contact in the event of enemy contact. Leg 4 goes from checkpoint 3 to checkpoint 4 at a distance of 860 meters, grid azimuth of 64 degrees, magnetic of 72 degrees. Observations of field of fire, same as before. We could only see around 50 to 100 meters due to the dense trees. The avenue of approach is the road intersection that the enemy Humvee could travel on. The key terrain is again that intersection would want to be controlled by the enemy because it is one of 2 dry crossing points to the enemy's position. The obstacles are the road, which will need to be crossed as an LDA. The cover and concealment is the same as before, which is that it is good and could stop an enemy 5.56 round equivalent. Enemy contact is expected in this area due to the key terrain and their desire to want to control this intersection. Therefore, we will conduct a squad line with Alpha on the northwest, Bravo on the southeast, in a bounding overwatch movement technique, because this will allow us to maximize fields of fire to the front of our formation and be prepared in case enemy is contacted in this area. The fifth leg of the trip goes from checkpoint 4 to checkpoint 5 at a distance of 1,200 meters, grid azimuth of 79 degrees, magnetic of 87 degrees. Observations of field of fire is the same as before. The avenue of approach is none, key terrain none, obstacles none, cover and concealment same as before, so it won't be repeated. Enemy contact is anticipated in this area, so we will use a squad column fire team wedge with Alpha in the front, followed by the squad leader with Bravo team bringing up the rear, and a traveling overwatch technique since enemy contact is possible. The last leg of the trip goes from checkpoint 5 to the ORP. It is a 400 meter movement at a grid azimuth of 65 degrees and a magnetic of 73 degrees. Observation fields of fire, same as before, so it won't be repeated. Avenue and key terrain, again, negligible. Obstacles, again, the dense vegetation may change our movement technique in certain areas. And the cover and concealment, same as before, it could stop a 5.56 round equivalent with the trees. Enemy contact is expected in this area, so we will be using a squad line for this movement technique with Alpha team on the northwest side and Bravo team on the southeast side with the squad leader in the middle. Bounding overwatch will be conducted because of the high possibility of enemy contact moving into the ORP.